So to begin the spring rolls, we're going to start off with our tofu. I'm only using a quarter of the tofu because it's just for myself, but if you're cooking for other people, you can use the whole block. You want to get as much moisture out of your tofu as possible because this will help it become more crispy when we fry it. I'm using paper towels. You can also use a clean cloth. The main thing is just making sure that you're applying a firm pressure to release the remaining water that's in the tofu. Then I'm going to slice them into 3 even slices and then slice those in half. And to be honest, it's up to you about how thick or thin you want your pieces. I think these pieces are perfect for the size of my spring roll paper. So I have some flour and arrowroot flour, or you can use potato starch. It's a healthier alternative to cornstarch, but in worst case scenario, you can always use flour and cornstarch. This is going to help create that crispy coating on top of your tofu when we fry it. So make sure to coat all the pieces of the tofu. I was supposed to put this in a bowl, but I accidentally dropped it on my cutting board and then decided to just go with it, and I dumped the rest on the cutting board and just coated them on my cutting board. But I would recommend doing it in a bowl so it's cleaner. Now, personally, for my spring rolls, I love rice noodles inside of them or some type of noodle. So I just used what I had at hand, which were some ramen noodles that were in my cabinet. They already come with flavor packets, but I'm not going to use them in this recipe just in case yours doesn't have one, and you can still create some of the same flavor profiles that I did. So cook your ramen noodles according to the package. So while your noodles are cooking, you're going to begin your tofu by frying them and making sure they're nice and crispy on all edges. Once your ramen is done, take off the heat and put into cold water or rinse with cold water. And this is going to just help stop the cooking process because you don't want mushy ramen. You want a little bit of a bite to it. And we're going to be setting it aside while we handle everything else. So when dressing your ramen, you can be as creative as you like. I put my full description down below if you want to use exactly what I did. However, something that I do not have in this video that is a game changer is chili garlic oil or chili garlic paste. I ended up using sriracha in replacement of that, which wasn't that bad, but to me personally, it would honestly take your noodles to the next level. But again, the creativity is up to you, and you can put almost anything into your ramen noodles flavor-wise. If you like sesame seeds, I recommend putting them in your noodles as well. It gives a nice flavor and a nice bite, but this is optional and you don't have to. Mix everything around and make sure the flavors are well incorporated, and then also taste test. You want to taste as you go to make sure it's to your liking, and if you need to add anything else, add that in. I kind of don't really measure when I do this because I just listen to my tongue and it tells me what I need, but like I said, I did put a full description down below to use exactly what I did. So this is what the finished tofu looks like, and then I put them on paper towels to take out the leftover grease. And then we're going to be moving on to our sauce, which is super easy. I'm not going to lie, I was a little lazy and I did use pre-made sauces, but you can totally make your own and do your own recipe if that's what you like, but today we're keeping it quick and simple. So I did use some General Tso's, Sal's, Chow's, I don't know how they say it, don't come for me, and then I did use sesame sauce. If I'm being transparent right now, these are not really the healthiest because of all the added fillers and additives and stuff that's usually in these types of sauces, but there are a few pre-made sauces that you can get, and just make sure that the ingredients are clean, or like I said, you could make it yourself, but today I kept it real simple and convenient, so please don't come for me, I know. So once your sauce is done, you're going to drop your tofu pieces into the bowl and make sure that they're nice and evenly coated, and just continue to do that until all your tofu pieces are done. If you wanted even crispier tofu than this is right now, you could always throw them back in the pan with the sauce on top, but for me, these were just fine. Moving on to our veggies, the beauty of this recipe is that you can literally put whatever veggies you want inside your spring roll. So these are some of the veggies that I used, and you're just going to make sure that you chop everything up into nice long pieces so that they're easier to roll. Sometimes I like to leave my lettuce whole or chop them up, but for this recipe I chopped it up. And then I also used cilantro, so I'm just making sure to take them off the stem so that I can chop them up easily. So for the rest of my veggies, I'm just simply making sure that they're either nice and diced or sliced so that they're easily rolled in my spring roll. And as far as my cucumber, I honestly don't even know what possessed me to cut it like this, so we're just gonna ignore that. Spring rolls are very light and refreshing, considering the main components is just fresh ingredients like vegetables or even sometimes leafy greens and herbs. So this is very refreshing for the springtime and a great way to get in your vitamins and nutrients. One of my favorite ingredients in a spring roll is mint, because it just adds that light bite that I need in the spring roll. So right now I'm just actually taking the good and the bad pieces and separating them, because for some reason the mint that I got was a little hurt. I absolutely love cabbage and think that the color is just super vibrant to add into your spring roll. So this is me just making sure I thinly slice it because I don't want big pieces of cabbage in my spring roll. So me personally, I'm a big fan of avocados, so you know I had to put some in the spring roll, and this is also a great source of healthy fats while adding a nice luscious bite to your spring roll. There are actually so many ways to cut an avocado, but for this I wanted to show you guys how, when ripe enough, you can easily peel off the skin and then thinly slice them to use into your spring rolls, into other recipes as well. So you can pretty much find any spring roll or rice paper in almost any Asian supermarket or international market, or even like your regular grocery store. Just check the international aisle. And now that we have everything ready, cut up and sliced and diced, it is time to assemble the spring rolls. So if you never used rice paper before, it's going to come hard in the package, but it actually softens when you dip it in the water, making it easier to roll. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my paper, dip it in a bowl of water, and then make sure that it's well coated in the water, and then flat lay it so that I can proceed to fill it up with my veggies. So that's basically the gist of this whole recipe, is making sure that you wet your paper and then fill it with the ingredients that you like. You could also mix and match your ingredients to create different flavors, or do like me and sometimes you just put everything all in one wrap. The creativity is up to you. So some of the learning curves that I learned about this recipe while doing it is to not overfill your wrap. I got a little too carried away for the first couple wraps that I did, and it was very difficult to roll, and some of them even ripped. So if this happens to you, it's okay. The beauty of it is that you can just do it all over again, or do what I did and fix my mistake by just rewrapping the roll in another wrap. So it's not that big of a deal. Practice makes perfect, and don't be hard on yourself. You can also place your ingredients in a certain way to make them aesthetically pleasing, or to have like a nice colorful look to them. To be honest, I was just doing what my heart told me to do, so whatever it is that you feel is right for you, do it. As long as you get all your ingredients in the roll, that's what's really important. So this was actually something that I wanted to keep in the video, because I'm a real one, and I'm going to show you guys when I mess up, just in case you do too, so you feel not alone. This was the wrap that I was talking about that I overstuffed and I ended up ripping, but what saved me is that I just grabbed another piece of paper and then rolled it in the other one, so it kind of fixed my mistake. And you could always do that if you run into this problem as well. So I actually fell in love with spring rolls when I would go to a lot of Asian and Thai places to eat. It was one of my go-to appetizers, and I was obsessed for like, I don't even know, maybe like a whole summer. Then once I realized how simple they were to make, I just decided to start making them at the house with my own ingredients. And this is the kind of recipe that the more you do it and practice, the easier that it gets. And I started to learn at the end of this recipe that less is more, and it makes it easier to roll so you're not ripping your paper. So most spring rolls are served with some type of side sauce, and a majority of them are peanut sauce. So this is me making my own homemade one, but if you want the exact recipe, like I said, everything is down below. So these are what my finished spring rolls look like, and like I said, you can be as creative as you like as far as how you want them to look, but I was more focused on flavor versus them being super aesthetic. So something that can go really well with these spring rolls to help wash it down would be these coconut lime mojito mocktails. And when I say these things are super light, refreshing, and just tasty, you won't even miss the alcohol. Mojitos just remind me of fresh, pungent flavors, which I thought would be perfect for this spring themed video. So to start the recipe, you're going to squeeze fresh lime juice, and it's important that you're using fresh limes, not artificial or already processed lime juice, because it will make a difference in the taste in your drink. I squeeze mine by hand, however, I would highly recommend using like a citrus squeezer or like a juicer because it will make your life so much easier. So I'm actually really obsessed with citrus and I love lime, so I used about a half cup of fresh lime juice. However, if you don't want that pungent tartness, you could always cut back and use about 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. Next, we're going to add in our fresh mint leaves and we're going to muddle this. This is to release all the natural oils and the flavors of the mint leaf, and if you don't have a muddler, it's fine. You can honestly use just about anything. I ended up using the back end of my wooden spoon and it did the job just fine. Then add in your choice of sweetener, and I end up using agave, which I recommend because it just pairs really well with the flavors we already have. However, you can use vegan honey, you can also use maple syrup, or even coconut sugar. And continue to mix everything so that it's well incorporated. Next is our coconut water, and although I would have preferred Harmless Harvest organic coconut water, this was gonna have to do because when I went to the store, it was not available. Coconut water can provide you with natural nutrients and electrolytes, which helps keep you energized throughout your day. Then I'm adding a ginger brew, which is an organic probiotic refresher, which can help support your gut. And I chose this flavor because I thought it would help pair well with the whole coconut lime situation we already had going on. Just like the coconut water, this also provides a bit of electrolytes, and it also has vitamins and enzymes to help with your gut support. It is gluten-free, dairy-free, caffeine-free, non-GMO, and to be honest, I would just drink this even if I wasn't trying to support my gut because the flavor is really good. For the bubbly part of your drink, you can use club soda, you can use ginger ale. However, when shopping for regular club soda, I ended up finding this Bella V sparkling water wellness immunity drink, which I thought was really cool because it was citrus flavor and I thought it would go really well with the drink that we were already making. I'm not really a big fan of soda, but this drink was actually really good and I ended up finishing the whole container by the end of the week because I just liked the flavor that it had. Once you add all your ingredients in your cup, again, make sure to mix everything so the flavors are well combined. Add in your ice, and that's pretty much it. I tried it and I loved it so much that I decided to make another one for my roommate to try, so this is me making the second one. So one of the main reasons that I decided to change my diet and my lifestyle was to become healthier. I wanted to provide my body with the best of the best, and therefore alcohol was one of the things that I knew I needed to cut out. It's actually one of the best decisions that I made and I do not regret it. While I'm not going to go on a full rant about why and how alcohol can destroy you from the inside and out, I will tell you to do your own research about how alcohol can affect you and your emotions and just your overall life. So, with that being said, when I do get these cravings to have a cocktail or something like that, I love to just create drinks with healthier alternatives or healthier ingredients that make me feel good, but still provide me with that classic cocktail feel. I love this drink because yes, it tastes good, but things like mint, coconut, lime, ginger, all these things provide different health benefits and nutrients and vitamins that actually are beneficial to you rather than destructive. To bring the drink to the next level, you can add more sliced lime and garnish it with fresh mint and a lime wedge like I did. I hope you understand that it's really never too late to want to do better for yourself and to change. Every day is a day for you to start something new, and I hope watching recipes and videos like this inspire you on your vegan journey. And I'd love for you guys to follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more vegan tips, tricks, and short recipes. And of course, subscribe to this channel if you want to keep up with more videos like this. Bye guys, see you next week.